Y'all, I have 27 minutes. The same number of minutes as Katherine Heigl had bridesmaid dresses before Elden Ring with Dan. What are we gonna do? I feel like I can get one decent Balatro attempt. Hello. Early Swag Wednesday. We're here. We out here. It's 8:34 a.m. Pacific time on a Wednesday. As Chib would call it, hump day. Only an Earth guy on Earth Day. Made up holiday. Hallmark holiday designed to sell greeting cards. When I was a kid, we just threw our potato chip bags out the window of our cars while we burned unleaded gasoline. And we liked it that way. Nobody knew about global warming back then. It's only once we started to be conscious about global warming that all this pollution came about. It doesn't make any sense, man. Oh, nice, you're on the new patch. YouTube recordings are still on the old patch and it's rough. Thanks for popping by to tell me to go fuck myself, that my life's work is in vain. I appreciate that. Thank you. No, I didn't mean it that way. No, it's cool. Don't worry about it. I didn't take it that way. I appreciate it. I'm sorry it's been so hard for you to watch the content. I'm glad you decided to check us out on Twitch. Also, the YouTube recordings are not on the old patch, bro. Yesterday's is on the new patch. Oh, you didn't see yesterday's? You didn't see? Okay, all right. I see how it is. So you just don't know what you're talking about. Right? Is that what we're doing? I'm sorry. You came after me, okay? At 8:41 a.m. on a Wednesday, on a work day? I'm early in the office. The boss is not coming by and saying, hey, are you excited for game one? Canucks versus Oilers. You came by and said, hey, you need to put your TPS reports on my desk right away. Hey, I put them there last night. You left for evening tea time at 4:15 p.m. I stayed here until 7. You think you know more about the current context of the situation than I do? Get real, buddy. Get real. How do you feel about Dan siding with the Institute in his playthrough of Fallout 4? Fallout 4 isn't worth me getting mad at my friend for his choices. Honestly, with no disrespect to the game Fallout 4, I've been watching Dan play it. And I played through all of Fallout 4 when it came out, and I was like, this game's good. Watching him play it, I was like, this is fucking garbage, man. It looks like ass. Like every fight is just like going into VATS and then clicking on the head and then watching like the slow-mo gunshots pop off, and that's the best part of it. What was I doing defending like that game, man? I liked it when it came out. But I guess it's been almost 10 years. But then also like on top of that, I don't know, like every time I go see Dan play the game, did he really side with the Institute? Because every time I see him enter a room, he goes, who are these people? Presses V to enter VATS, and then shoots everybody in the room in the back as many times as possible. And then as soon as he shoots them in the back, and then the AI goes like, and it kind of like looks just to the left of him, and then runs past him with this exaggerated animation until they get into a corner, and then they just slowly like slide to the side a little bit while Dan riddles them with lasers. I'm like, man, what were we smoking in 2016, man? Hey, Anel, loving the TikTok era. It's been great. Thank you. I think TikTok, I'm being honest, I think they shadow banned me. Or not shadow banned, but alternatively, I think that they don't put my videos into the For You page. I think I'm in jail right now. Because like when I came back to TikTok, the videos were going to the For You page, and they were going pop, 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 pop. They were going crazy, right? Then I knew at some point, like TikTok is like this weird thing. It's like YouTube, where people on YouTube are like, it's so fucked up. You can't say fuck, cum, pussy within the first 7 seconds. Like, what kind of police state are we living in? But then like 8 seconds in, they're like, fuck her right in the pussy. And they're like, oh, I got around it. I'm so smart. Eventually, the AI is going to catch up, and we're all going to be on limited advertisements for the rest of our lives. But it's worth it to speak truth to power, I suppose. That being said, on TikTok, the corollary there is that all of my clips are me saying the F word or saying like, go die or something like that. But my editor doesn't censor the verbiage, like the audio track, but they censor the subtitles. And I think for a while, TikTok was like, I don't know what's going on. All the text on the screen it looks good to me. Send it to the For You page. But then they had like an update, and the audio is, fuck, shit, piss, etc., etc. And now they're like, don't put this guy out there. He's a liability. But that's okay. The platform is entirely unmonetizable anyway. Like I think I got 75,000 followers on TikTok. And when I go to the TikTok monetization page, it's like, do you want $75 to like promote some 3D printed like bolt made in a factory in India? And I'm like, you gotta at least double it, man. I'm not selling out for $75. $150, I'll be like, check out the Mumbai Industrial Incorporated has just released a brand new bolt. Stop paying $6 for 100 bolts. You could pay $350 for 100 bolts. Yeah, your house will fall apart in a week and a half, but wake up, honey. New bolt just dropped. Thank you to Industrial Glycine Limited for the sponsorship today. I would say check it out if you're a fan of the genre of bolt that it's a part of. As a structural engineer, I love bolts. I do want to say, if you're a structural engineer and like a bridge collapses, do you ever get pissed off that everybody blames you? Like, yeah, sure, you designed the bridge. But like, and you had final say on like the blueprints, but like you don't know what happens once they start putting, rebar up. Construction workers are like zooted on 12 Monster Energy drinks and like prescribed methamphetamine and stuff like that. Their foreman is like, we gotta get this strut up by the end of the day. You got 30 minutes left in the day. Maybe you skip a couple of lug nuts. All of a sudden, 32 years later, oh, why did the engineer design the bridge like that? Bro, these are complicated systems. We can't place fault on a single individual. Well, maybe in some circumstances, but...
Ryan Gary.
Dan, I'm so embarrassed. My fly's been down this whole time.
Ryan Gary's muted. I'm not.
Sorry. I was saying I'm so embarrassed. My fly was down the first 30 minutes of the stream.
It's all good. Hey, I'm just opening up the world for your pleasure, and then I'm gonna take 2 minutes and we'll be ready to go.
Yeah. No. I think he's gone. But I don't want to talk about what I was going to talk about because his chat is like family friendly. But I wanted to bring up a story from my past. You know, the first time I ever bought prophylactics in my entire life, I bought flavored condoms. What the hell was I thinking, man? Taking myself back to that era of my life, I was like, I really walked into the pharmacy and said, give me the fucking... give me the effing Durex variety pack. Like, what was the purpose of these? What flavor were they? I mean, it was a 24 pack, so I think it had like six quantity of 4 different flavors. There was definitely like a red one. I think an orange one. I don't remember.
Yo, Ryan, can you hear me?
Yeah. What's up?
Okay, so you can't hear my game anymore, but chat heard everything. Give me like 2 seconds. I'll be right back.
No problem. But like, listen, I know why they sell them. All I'm going to say is I don't know why they're so easily accessible. Like, that should be something you have to buy on the internet just because it's like a niche product. That shouldn't be something that like they can trick an 18-year-old into buying because they don't know what they're doing. It just happens to be next to all the other normal brands at the pharmacy. Why is he not getting the snip? It takes 2 days to recover from. What kind of cookery has happened to millennials and Gen Z that people are like, you should get a vasectomy, the recovery is really easy? That's not what's stopping me, bro. I like having live ammo right now. There's plenty of time. I might live till I'm 80, 90 years old. There's plenty of time to be shooting blanks. I'm just holding on to live ammunition for now, just in case, man. I'm not worried about the recovery. I'm the only person in this chat that's had non-cosmetic testicular surgery, okay? You can reverse it? Yeah, with like a 1 in 6 success rate. I'm not fucking around getting the surgery and going, well, I could always like reverse it later. I'll just, it's not that big of a deal. I still got 5 of the cherry flavor left. Should last me like 6 months minimum. Why not freeze some? Why not just keep doing it the way I'm doing it right now? I don't need to mess around paying conservatorship fees to a sperm bank. I got the bank is right here, bro. The bank is between my legs. And let me tell you, interest rates have never been higher. It's just, listen, I'm not like categorically opposed to getting a vasectomy. I'm just not getting one, you know, spontaneously, like on a whim. I'm gonna wait till like I'm 100% sure that I don't want to have any other kids. And then I'm, you know, as far as I'm concerned, you could get Kylo Ren in there with a lightsaber. Doesn't bother me at all. What do you mean by that? I mean, I'll let some dude off the street do the procedure once I'm ready. I'm not stressed about like, oh, my wee-wee's gonna hurt.
Yo, what's going on?
Chad's trying to bully me into getting a vasectomy.
Okay, let me just ask you this before I make any judgments. Why does Chat not want you to have any more kids?
Well, listen. This is not going to make us like the most popular individuals on the internet in our target demographic, but there is like an anti-kid sentiment that's pervasive online for sure.
What do you mean, like r/kidless?
Well, there's like r/child-free and r/like antinatalism and stuff like that. But even more than that,
what's natalism?
Natalism is like the I don't want to go too off. Like child-free is like I don't want to have kids and I'm tired of people like bugging me about it. Antinatalism is like having kids is immoral because every human life contains suffering, and like willfully creating another human being is like making an unconsenting being suffer.
Okay, can we just go I've never heard that before, but can we just go with this logic? So let's just say, I mean, it's like pretty dark, but let's just say everyone was a fatalist or whatever you called it. Sure, then there would just be no humans.
Correct, yeah. And that's like their end game of their philosophy, I think.
I mean, it sounds like a faction Fallout 4.
You know what, Todd Howard? I do not consent to you to take this rhetoric and put it into Fallout 5. All opinions expressed here are the intellectual property of Dan Giesling Incorporated.
So basically you're saying like the popular sentiment on the internet in our subgenre is r/kidless?
Maybe I wouldn't necessarily say the most popular, but I would say there's a lot of it, yeah. I'll give you my cliff notes on why I think it is.
Okay.
One is, I think if you're a young adult, you don't want to have kids because you're like living your own life. You're still establishing yourself. So that's like step one, is that we work in like an industry where a lot of our viewers are younger than us at the very least. I also feel like, you know, as time has gone on, the economic conditions in North America, people are tending to have children later and later. Perhaps it's easy to rationalize, like, I don't want to have kids versus like having kids is not economical right now. But I also feel like, socially speaking, you know, we're in an era where, I mean, can I say something a little cringe about millennials as one myself?
Let's cringe our face off today.
I feel like our generation, maybe more so mine, I'm like only a few years younger than you, but I feel like you almost have like a little bit more in common with like Gen X. I feel like there's a lot of millennials in our age demographic that are still like trying to live out their teenage years in their early 20s, which is fine if that's what they want to do in their life.
So
you know,
just to paint the picture, so someone in their early 20s living out their teenage years, what would someone
like even in their 30s like living out their teenage years?
Let's so like what would someone who's like 31, what would that person like dress like and what would they be doing?
Okay, I don't know what they would dress like. I think you're trying to get me in trouble. But I think that they would have they would enjoy having ample amounts of leisure time, shirking unnecessary responsibilities, having the freedom to travel or have more money to pursue like hobbies that they find fulfilling versus like the perception that you lose a lot of that when you have a kid. And I think that has led that like personality and societal element has led to a little bit of an anti-kid bias.
Got it. So let me ask you this then. So, do you think that having a kid, in your experience, shirks your free time? Is that what you're trying to say people think?
Yes, I think that's like undeniable.
Okay. Are you saying it's not as bad as maybe r/kidless thinks?
No, I think like the Reddit subcommunity for any kind of like ethos is always the most extreme, insane people that are representative of that ethos. Like even people on the I'm like anti-car and pro public transit. I will never go to the subreddit r/f cars because all the top posts are always like, look at this drivoid blocking the bike lane, and it's like a 61-year-old lady like trying to get to her doctor's appointment. It's there like all people with cars should be shot into the sun immediately. I live in a town with 300 people, and there should be like a subway that takes me from where I am to my exact place of work. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm sorry. We got to meet in the middle somewhere if we're going to make some progress. It would be nice. I would love that for you, and I would love that for me as well.
So when you go to a neighborhood barbecue,
yeah,
how normie adjusted do you feel you are?
I'm usually the weirdest guy at the barbecue.
Really?
Yeah. But like I pepper it in. Like if it was you and me hanging out, I could be genuine to myself, which is a little weird right off the bat. But like at a normie barbecue, you talk about the weather, you talk about work, sports, and then maybe you throw in like one NL style joke and see how people react to it. And usually, like, I would say like 40% of people are receptive and they say that's pretty funny. And I'm like, those are my people. And I can tailor the material more towards them.
So, like, what would be an appropriate NL joke at a neighborhood barbecue in Vancouver?
I don't know. It depends on it's so dependent on the situation. I couldn't tell you in advance.
Okay.
Like you just walked up to Drew Carey and said, "Hey, tell a joke." Like that's not his style, He's got to be zooted out of his mind at the Sphere in Las Vegas first.
Chat, did Ryan Gary just compare himself to Drew Carey? Caught, all caps. I would say, but here's the thing. Like when you drop that,
yeah,
are you dressed in like hiked up khakis with a Disney button up and thick rimmed glasses?
Probably not. I wouldn't be wearing the Disney button up at the function. I might be wearing like a Patagonia button up, maybe like blue with some abstract shapes on it, short sleeves, like Dilbert style.
See, because here's what I'm getting at. I don't think you're as weird as you think you are in terms of normiehood.
I think that's true. I think I'm weird for a normal person. In a good, I'm weird. Weird is a loaded term too. Like I can fit in socially. It's just every once in a while I maybe say something on purpose that a lot of people would be like, you shouldn't say that. Like, why would you say that? That's weird. And the reason that I do it is because it's funny. And occasionally you find another kindred spirit out in the wild, and then you're like, okay, now we can be friends.
I respect that. See, I just think like if I'm at a neighborhood barbecue, I just think you're the funny guy. I don't think you're the weird guy.
I appreciate that. Does being the funny guy entitle me to get a hot dog and a hamburger, or am I still like on an either or type basis? Or maybe I gotta wait till.
That's the kind of joke
Thank
you tell.
Thank you.
That's like if you were to be like, hey, did you see Goju in the last Airbender? Like to me, that's like pretty weird at a barbecue. No offense to your chat.
But you know what's crazy is that like at like 50% of barbecues, or maybe I'm just like flubbing the delivery. At 50% of barbecues, the person on the grill would be like, wow, that's pretty funny. At the other 50%, they would be like, you should still only take one until everybody gets some, and then we'll see what's left over. Like they wouldn't pick up on the vibe, right?
I mean, it sounds like you live in a pretentious neighborhood. At my barbecue, everyone's probably laughing at that one.
Really? I gotta
especially
move to
the dads.
the Midwest, man. So that people are having more fun out there.
Bro, you'd be sliding into the Midwest like your fresh pair of Crocs you just brought last week.
Oh man, dude, I got insulted by one of my neighbors when I was mowing the lawn like 2 weeks ago.
What happened?
I'm mowing like the at the side of our house. So like there were people walking by that could like, say hello, nice weather, go Canucks, et cetera, et cetera. And this guy, he walked up to me. I pulled my headphones out and said hello. And he just said, "Is that a push mower?" Like, it's a Dagwood comic strip from like 1941 or something like that. He said, "Is that a push mower?" And I said, "Nah, it's electric." And then he kind of like looked it up and down and said, "Nah, I prefer gas." And I said, "Well, yeah, like it's more consistent, obviously, but like, you know, we don't have a problem with electric because like our yard's not that big." And then he was going off. He was like, "Well, you see, your problem is that you like waited too long to mow it. Like, lots of people think you don't mow throughout the winter, but you're supposed to mow like at least once a month when it doesn't rain." And I was like, okay. Then he started talking to me about people keep throwing their dog poop in his garbage can, and he's gonna like put up a security camera and then like find them and then throw the dog poop on their front yard or throw his own poop in there. Are you okay?
Yeah, I mean, like we're like 100 feet down in the conversation, and I have a question at the 1 inch line.
Sorry, please. I
Why didn't you hit him with a "Did I ask you?" question mark?
Oh, I was being nice.
I know, but like at some point, like
I've never hit somebody with that. Although I will say I was in a situation like literally like 4 days later. I was at a restaurant with my daughter, and an old lady who was in her 80s. Oh God, I don't want to be here. An old lady who was like in her 80s started making conversation with me very vulgarly. Like, she was like, "Who the F can even afford to live here? The people who work at this restaurant are like effing idiots. They can't get anything right." And then she said, "How do you feel about the shots?" And I said, "What do you mean?" And she said, "The COVID shots." And I was like, "Oh, I gotta go. Sorry." I removed myself from the situation.
This was in front of your daughter? She just started dropping F-bombs?
Yes.
See, that's where I would have said something. I wouldn't have said something. I would have kind of looked at, holy cow, we got to get out of here. I would have looked at her, looked at my daughter, and then given her the shrug, like, you know, like, not like the shrug with the hands, but just move the shoulders up to the ears, like, you know, like, come on, you know. But something tells me she wouldn't have picked up on that social cue.
Yeah, she was cooked. I don't know why, but she was cooked for sure.
So
does your kid understand bad words? I hope not, because I'll be listening to all sorts of stuff in the car. I'll do my best.
There's this store that we go to frequently. It'll dox, but I'm not going to say it. But anyways, I take my sons there. We have a good time. We're probably there like once a week. I'd say it's like Costco adjacent.
Okay.
But whenever we go there, there's a 50% chance there's a greeter at the door who, like, literally, when you'll take 1 foot in the building, and he starts pummeling you with, like, try to get this credit card.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah.
And every time we go, and then if we say no to the credit card, then he'll pivot to my kids and be like, "Oh, we got, like, free samples over here of candy. Do you guys want to come over here, kids?" And, like, he's, like, 75, but he's always hard selling. But it's, like, super awkward. And it just got to the point where, like, we were there at the store yesterday, and we pulled in the parking lot. My son's like, "Dad, is that guy gonna be there?"
Oh no!
And I'm like, "What guy?" He's like, "You know, the scary guy that doesn't leave us alone." And I'm like, "Well, now I got to say something, you know." But also, it's like, how do you? Oh, I should have teleported out. So, like, how do you have this conversation telling someone to leave you alone? That's also going to be a lesson. This is what I'm thinking for my kids, right? Because like, just because he's, and I didn't say this word, just because he's annoying doesn't mean you're mean to him. So we walk in the store, and all of a sudden, like, he zoomed in on us, and my son kind of squeezed my hand a little tighter, and I think he was like a little frightened. So this is what I said to the guy, so fully judge me. I said, "Hey, look," I go, "Me and my 2 sons, we like to come in here and really not be bothered." I said, "We would love to say hello, so I'd like to do something to kind of give you like the heads up that we're saying hello." And I made the peace sign, and I shoved it in his face. And I'm like, "When I do this, my boys and I will do this to you. That's our way of saying hello." And he just kind of looked and goes, "Hump," and then walked away.
Oh,
but like,
man.
I didn't know what else to do. Like, because we love going to the store. It's a fun experience, but my kids are scared of him because he keeps asking them to give him candy. What else would you do?
I mean, I don't think you did anything wrong. Putting myself in your shoes, I probably would have just been like, "Well, let that be a lesson to you, honey. There's lots of weird people out there."
I don't know. But like, once my kid was like scared, I'm like, okay. Like, I thought the dude was like a little creepy, but you know, you kind of give people the benefit of the doubt. How did you get out of here, by the way?
Here, I'll escort you.
Hey, son, there's nothing to be scared of. The guy's doing his job. We'll tell him no thanks and move on. We've told him no thanks 5 times. Oh, how did Sigourney Weaver get in here?
I'm not even at the same bonfire because I made it down to another one. Now I gotta run back to that one.
How the heck did we end up in Caelid? What the heck, man?
Okay, go back to the first step.
Okay.
But I have 60,000 runes, bro.
How?
I don't even know what happened. Oh, the big dragon in the area died randomly. Let's go, bro. Level me up. Holy. Do you have 60,000 souls? You must.
I may have died when that happened. I do have 60,000.
Holy.
All right.
Leave him alone. He probably eats cat food for dinner every night. No, in all honesty, I probably would. I would give my daughter some version of like, you know, he's weird, but don't worry about him. He's chill. Also, like, you can always just as long as they're not like threatening you, you can just be nice to them and then make fun of them once you get like out of earshot. That's a good coping mechanism.
See, my thing was, I'm like, okay. After I had the conversation, I felt good about it because I'm like, okay, he's not going to 1 hour photo us based on that interaction.
Great movie, though.
I'm following you. It is. That's a great movie. It makes you look at like strangers a different way, but
also the only movie where you can see Robin Williams say Neon Genesis Evangelion.
Really? Did you ever watch that?
I saw it in 1 hour photo. I saw in theaters in the 9th grade, which was probably not advisable because it was pretty scary. But it's funny the things you remember. I have 2 stories about 1 hour photo really quick. One is my friend saw it too, and he was like, "What did you think about the hotel scene when Robin Williams has like the couple captured in the hotel and he forces them to my man?"
I don't remember that part.
And I said, yeah, it was really scary. And he said, yeah, I was creaming my jeans. And I said, what? Because they're like doing it. And he's like, no, because I was so scared. So for like the next 5 years, I thought creaming your jeans meant that you pooped your pants because you were so scared. But I was right in the first place. It means to release my man into your pants.
Wait, but let me ask you this without getting too deep into the rabbit hole. Did he... my man, or did he number 2?
Well, I think that he was so scared he thought he might number 2, and he thought that was creaming your jeans.
I think we could fight the boss now, don't you?
I mean, we did just get like 12 levels for free, which is kind of sick.
Let's clear these eggs and then let's go fight the boss.
Miyazaki was really cooking with these ones.
Bro, you think Miyazaki, he doesn't even work on his own games, man.
He probably delegated this out to like a junior dev or something.
Yeah.
I'm poisoned! No, actually, now that I think about it, they inflict poison, so he was definitely in charge of this part.
Do you think there are some enemies in this game that was designed by like an intern, and then the intern at their local neighborhood barbecue brag about it, and then they get labeled the weird guy?
Absolutely. When they go to the Hanabi or whatever, it's the Cherry Blossom Festival, they're like, you know, I made Melania. Okay, buddy. Dude at the barbecue thinks he's Hidetaka Miyazaki.
Wait, so when I was leaving for a minute and I heard your conversation you're talking about, and I do feel like you're a good sport last why are we at Stormvale? Oh, this is the cell. I feel like you're a good sport last week, but don't take this the wrong way. I didn't take you as like a ladies man. I thought you struggled in that department pre-K.
I think that's maybe not pre-K, but pre-K7 for sure. But like
I said pre-Kate. Yeah,
pre-Kate.
I
know.
Okay.
I
don't know. But so like, what are you doing buying that stuff if you're having issues in that apartment?
Well, A, you know, you want to be prepared, and B, if anything, I would say that my choice of prophylactic indicated that I was not experienced in that domain.
Was it like a dare or something? Like someone dared you to go buy
something? It wasn't a dare. There was I wanted to be prepared. The opportunity was there, and I wanted to make sure I was ready to go, man.
But how did you know the opportunity was there?
How does anybody know the opportunity is there? It's vibes. It's hints and inferences. It's context and situations. It's a furtive glance exchanged, across the room.
You just straight up asked. I could see you just straight up asking.
It wasn't like that. It was hints and allegations, spinning in infinity. I don't want to be too explicit about it.
Why in chat if you think Ryan asked, and if no?
First off, what's wrong with asking?
Nothing.
And secondly, it wasn't like that. I'm more confused about why you don't believe me. You have your preconceived notion of me, and that's fine. The plug weird, but he chill though. There's lots of girls that are weird but chill too.
Are there?
Yeah, probably.
Not according to Twitch chat. Whenever they see an anime girl on the screen,
they're probably like at the library or something, or
I don't know. I think I would probably have to guess Twitch. The creation of Twitch has probably helped more my mans than not.
What do you mean
by
that?
Twitch, the invention of Twitch, probably it's like one of those things that happens in history and has like a butterfly effect in a different way, unintended. I feel like Twitch has probably like created more relationships than they ever intended to. Like people meeting in your chat right now.
I feel like you've said one of the most insane, indefensible statements that I've ever heard.
I'm saying Twitch was created, and a byproduct of the creation was people meeting and getting married in relationships that would never have ever been before, and probably to a higher extent than Twitch intended.
Yeah, but did it really create new relationships, or did it just siphon off some of the marriages that would have happened like through Final Fantasy 14 instead?
Bro, do you really think searching for my anime waifu 5779 in your chat was gonna find someone outside of an obscure joke that you made and 2 people plus 2'd you, and the other person saw their name and like, oh, she laughed too, maybe I got a chance?
I don't know, man. It's just too far for me. It's too far.
All right, don't die.
But I will say, for anybody out there watching, don't buy the flavored ones. You don't need them. If you think about it for 5 seconds, you'll realize it doesn't make any sense. I'm not saying there's not fringe cases where maybe there's some relevancy. I'm just saying it's not worth the surcharge. Just get the normal ones. You'll be okay. Unless they started making ones where it was like those Harry Potter jelly beans, where like some of them taste like, angel farts and some of them taste like toxic waste.
Chad, is that true? Also, side note, do you ride your bike through your neighborhood?
No.
Why not?
I am worried about being hit by a car and killed.
Okay, you are the weird guy at the barbecue then.
Why?
Because I know you love riding bikes, and you're not gonna ride your bike at the 1% chance you get steamrolled.
1% chance of death is like super high.
Is it though?
Yeah.
Whenever I hear about statistics about like, oh, you're more likely to die in a car crash than an airplane, I think of it as like Russian roulette. And I'm like, with 100 chambers, I'll take those odds. It's not happening.
Well, what do you mean that you're comparing two things? So which one's Russian roulette?
I'm just saying if it's like, oh, you have a 1 in 50 shot to die by getting on an airplane.
That's
I'll be like,
so high, dude. That's crazy.
But I'm saying, like, I look at it as like a revolver with 50 chambers. I'll take those odds, man. I got good luck. That's not happening.
Well, okay. Let's assume that for the sake of argument, this 1 in 50 chance was real. If you're going on one flight, sure. But what about like when you look at your life? You've probably taken like 200 flights or something, right?
Yeah, but that's 200 individual 1 out of 50 chances.
Yeah, but on an average, like statistical standpoint, you would expect to have been in 4 plane crashes.
No, that's not how it works.
It is how it works.
No, it's not. It's a roll of a D50 individual times.
Yes.
So each time it's 1 out of 50.
Yes, but if you rolled them 50 times, you would expect there to be 4 in a large enough data size or data
50 times if I'm going from like New Zealand to New York to Japan to Brazil back to back to back to back, then yeah.
You're probably it's probably riskier to fly like Detroit to Chicago because I think they put their worst pilots on that one. That's why I'm never when we're flying like Vancouver to Tokyo, I'm like I know I've got like the Wayne Gretzky of Air Canada pilots. When I'm flying from like my hometown to Ottawa, I'm like buckle up. There's like some 19-year-old kid on the yoke today.
You are correct. So what do you think the odds are of getting hit, not dead, hit by a car on a bicycle?
On an on an average ride, like 1 in 2,000.
Of getting hit by a car while you're riding your bike.
Yeah, on an average ride.
So something you love, you would not roll a D2000 for.
In this situation, yeah, I would. I mean, like, honestly, I think back to like when I was running on a treadmill.
Yeah.
I was doing, I don't know, like I'm trying to think, probably like 30 to 50 miles a week on the treadmill, right? Just
running?
Yeah. Well, jogging.
Oh, that's a lot.
But just man-moding it with like, you know, headphones in, like listening to audiobooks and stuff like that. And everybody was like, wow, like you're stupid. Why would you run on a treadmill? You live in a beautiful city. You've got like beautiful outdoor paths and stuff like that. Like, yeah,
that's what I would say.
So
that's the benefit of living in a city.
At first I was like, you know, like I just like the treadmill. It works for me. I'm not gonna mess with it. But then one day I was like, you know what? They're right. It's a beautiful day. I'm gonna go out and run like on the seawall. I'm gonna run on the beach. And I tripped on some loose ground, tore my meniscus, and then like couldn't walk for like 3 weeks and haven't jogged since. Essentially, the same thing with the Peloton, man. There's if you're doing it for exercise, there's a lot of benefits to doing it in a more controlled environment inside. Like, honestly, I think if you ride your bike for exercise outside, you're weak. You know why? Peloton don't have any ability to coast. Oh, my legs are tired? Oh, that's okay. I'll just stop pedaling on this downhill and still gather speed. Oh, there's a stoplight. I'll just hit the brakes here and then, like, rest for a minute. You don't have that on a 60-minute Dennis Morton jam band ride, dude. You're pedaling the whole time.
You want to know the most BS class I ever saw created? Art architecture. It was like the history of architecture, but it was an art class. Like, bro, they were just slapping stuff together and then making it look good after. There doesn't a whole class need to be dedicated to it. Well, what about the Gothic era? Yeah, they look like something from Bloodborne. What else do you need to know?
I mean, I don't really get architecture, but I accept that there's something beautiful about it being like a melange of aesthetics plus like structural engineering.
But, and here's my thing. I like looking at cool buildings, but I don't like when someone tries to like chef up the macaroni and be like, oh, did you know that was inspired by the French architect Mormont Chateau? No, it wasn't. Just someone wanted to make something look cool, and so they made it look cool. It's not because of anything else that happened.
I can understand your perspective, but I don't like it. When I was 17, I would have agreed with you 100%. Like, I still remember.
What are you trying to say?
In 12th grade, like we took 4 classes a semester. In 12th grade, I took geometry, algebra, calculus, chemistry, physics, biology, English, and a spare. And then like I was like, that's because I'm like book smart. I should be like taking like all these classes that are like really important. Turns out you start your first year of university in science. Guess what I'm taking? Geometry, algebra, calculus, biology, chemistry, physics. I'm like, I should have taken a photography class or like home ec or something like that.
Brother, I had a steady diet of that stuff. That was one of the best classes. Home ec, making angel food cake. Come on, like, are you kidding me? You didn't get to do any of that stuff?
I didn't have that. I didn't have shop. I didn't have anything that would have made me a better husband. Just, I was nerd maxing. I had to learn all that stuff on the job.
Wait, my 8th grade shop teacher, dude, and we were hooligans, man. There were probably 15 like industrial jigsaws in the class we were able to use.
Oh man!
And if you put a piece of wood in there and you didn't hold it down, it would just flop around. And so so there was one day towards the end of the year, there was like 8 of us, because our teacher, I won't say his name, but he was missing like his 5th and 4th digits from the shop class incident. He would always he was like that. So what we would do on one of the last days was like, all right, if one of us does it, puts the 2x4 in there and lets it flop around, we're gonna get in trouble. But what if all 8 of us do it at the same time? We did so we did that, and he just kind of looked at us and just gave us like the we didn't know that at the time, but the Ben Affleck look, like, come on, guys. Yeah. And I feel like in that moment I grew up a little bit, because we all, like, one of us turned off our jigsaw, then another one, and it wasn't as funny as we thought it was gonna be.
It's funny now, like, though.
It is. But imagine like being 13 years old and being able to use an industrial jigsaw.
It is crazy, man. Like,
yeah.
That's right. Like, so I was in like an accelerated program in the 8th grade. So all the kids who came out of that for 9th grade, they were like, we can't put these nerds in shop class. Like, someone's gonna die. So instead, they like a homebrewed an information technology class for us to play like flash games instead of learning any valuable skills with our hands.
What flash a whiff, games man. Did you play?
Do we just addictinggames.com? Just send it, bro. Literally, so this is like the year 2002. Our computer teacher was like 71 years old. He would give us like a 5-minute lecture, and he'd be like, the hard drive is the part of the computer where the data's stored. Okay, now like go nuts. And then we would have like 64 minutes of just like free time.
Did you have internet?
Yeah, man.
Oh,
it was a computer lab with like 30 computers. We would just go to addictinggames.com. You know, it's crazy. There's a tie-in to 1 Hour Photo. One of our assignments in computer class was write a movie review. How does that relate to computers? You learn how to format a document in Microsoft Word. Like, there's this weird, like, generational mismatch where, like, the kids obviously knew more than the teacher. So we were like, why are we wasting our time in this class?
Did you have a favorite teacher?
Yeah.
What made that teacher your favorite?
When they sat on the chair, but they turned the chair around backwards first. So, like, the back of the chair was at the front.
Or you just like the way that the teacher sat?
I feel like it's just, you know, you either got the juice or you don't. As a teacher, I did not have the juice. I was never going to be like Mr. Cooper. I was always like, kids, quiet down, quiet down.
You didn't lean into your comedy to get the kids to like you?
They didn't get it. This comedy was a little cerebral for like 7-year-old Korean kids who don't even speak English.
When you lived there, what did you do in your free time?
We drank a lot.
Who, you and the 7-year-olds?
No, me and the other like North American teachers who had like no skills or desire to like assimilate into the culture.
So you just would go and drink at like K-Kona bars in Korea?
No, just anywhere. K-Kona bars, Korean bars, GS25. The casino that they built in the city, which was super weird because it's illegal for Koreans to gamble, so they built it just for like foreigners to gamble in.
So you didn't like get a Korean experience when you were there? It was like USA East?
I would say I got an experience of living in Korea, but socially I was mostly hanging out with expats. But like the other thing is like, not to say I couldn't have made more of an effort if I desired to, but like, maybe Kate will tell you, like she can either back me up or tell you that I'm projecting or something. But as like an expat in Korea, you should be like a little sus of native Koreans who want to be your friend. Because there's always like, not always, but there's often like an ulterior motive. They want to be your friend, but actually they just want to learn English, which is fine. But like, that's also what I'm doing in like my day-to-day life. Or they're like devout missionaries that are trying to convert you to the church. Or, you know, they're perhaps romantically interested in you predominantly because of your skin. Because obviously it couldn't be for any other factor because you fled your home country to run away from either a criminal record or a lack of qualifications and don't really have that much going for you.
Can I get a +2 for Kate? She said he gets plenty of that Korean experience at home.
You know what's great? I'm gonna put my wife not on blast, but I'm gonna put her on the spotlight for a second. Did you know that Korean people, when they accept a phone call from their family, they don't say hi?
What do they say?
When my wife takes a phone call from her mom, the first thing she says, she picks up the phone and says, "Oh my way." You know what it means? Mom, it's basically like, "Mom, what are you doing? Like, why are you calling me?" Then they don't say bye either. I know the conversation's about to end because my wife starts talking less, and I hear like, and then click. They don't say bye.
What's LSO?
I think it's like I know or something like that.
They don't say bye?
They don't say bye. I kind of felt like the way you described your shop teacher this morning. My daughter has been going through a phase for like a month where she pretends to hate me, which is a lot of fun. I'm also dead. We could take this guy for sure, though.
Yeah, we can get him.
So she pretends to hate me, and she won't let me like do anything, like play with her or like change her clothes or help brush her teeth or anything like that. So this morning, Kate was in the shower. You know, we got to get ready. We're on a tight schedule in the morning, as most families are. So I was like trying to get her pajamas off so I could change her diaper, and she was like freaking out. She was like, "Don't do it, don't do it." And I was like, "What's the problem?" And she's like, "I want to stay in my diaper." And I was like, "Well, you can't stay in your diaper." Eventually, you know, I got her diaper changed. I put on, you know, some underpants, and she was like, "I want mommy, I want mommy." I threw the blanket on top of her head and said, "Okay, wait for mommy." I went downstairs and started packing her lunch. I was like, life's too short for this. You gotta learn a lesson here.
I respect the heck out of you for sharing that, because there's so many moments like that, and you're like, "Oh, do you say that one, bro?" That's you know that's plus 2,000 parenting. No, you're not gonna read about that on the mommy blogs, but I guarantee you what. When she came down to get her lunch, she probably said thanks, Daddy, and didn't think twice about the blanket.
When she was eating her yogurt in the morning, she was a little bit more friendly and amenable.
Yeah, I bet she was.
So I'm like, "I'm doing this for you." You think I'm really out here like, "Oh, I can't wait to wake up and change your like urine-soaked diaper"? No, I'm like, I got stuff to do too.
Yeah, I mean, like, but you're right. I mean, if you ever, and I feel like I've been honest with you via Discord, if you're ever thinking about going from 1 to 2, you're gonna need like you got to examine. You got to go through a big examination.
It's like going from a zone defense to man-to-man.
Yeah, and then 2 to 3, it's like.
I wouldn't worry about that.
2 to 3. Let me put it in terms that the audience would understand. 2 to 3 is like going from Gwyn to 7 Melanias. It has nothing to do with logic or numbers. It just is what it is. Did you die?
Yeah, I was just mashing the button.
Do you know how old Mr. Beast is?
Yeah, he's 26.
I thought he was like 35, man. He's already cracked YouTube. We cracked YouTube when he was what, 20 years old? Like, what is left for this guy?
I don't know. Like, maybe like finding some intrinsic meaning to life.
What do you mean? He just turned 26. He's giving away 26 Teslas.
I'm not even knocking him. I'm just like, okay, so now you won YouTube. Now the hard part. What are you gonna do next?
Well, that's how I feel. Like when you peak so early, it's like what do you do? Chat, why? Look, I'm gonna be that guy. Why does chat not like Mr. Beast? Everyone like, oh, he's unhappy. Why do people not like Mr. Beast? Did he do something that I missed?
I think that any disdain towards Mr. Beast. You may just not like his content first, but then also he's like so emblematic of like the like rise and grind hustle culture, like the only meaning of life is like getting to the top of your business sort of culture, that he catches strays as a result of that. Like even in personal interviews that he's given, like his whole reason for living is to like optimize getting as many views on YouTube as possible, which a lot of people might look at as sort of like a life devoid of any extra meaning. I'm not making better content than Mr. Beast. That's ridiculous. But I don't know. The older I get, the more I find like all this like just making content for the sake of it being watched kind of like detestable. Like I don't care if you dropped a Lamborghini into a trash compactor or like fucking, you know, shot a private plane into a volcano. Like I don't care what like a $10 million a night hotel looks like. Like I need some art, man. I'm okay like making trash. Don't get me wrong. I just don't like. I don't want to be like, wow, this guy's making the best trash. You know, like it's good for him, and I have nothing against him. But like, I don't need like a David Letterman interview with Mr. Beast. That's like, so what was going through your head when you made Squid Game ages 0 to 100 version 4? Wow, and your magnum opus. $1,000 flight versus $1 million flight. Like, what were you speaking to? The innate truths in the human condition with that one. Like, what motivated you to make that?
Yeah, but come on, you and I both know we'd both click on if you put a Lamborghini into a trash compactor.
I swear it to you, I'm not putting on airs. I wouldn't. I would rather watch like a music video for a song I liked when I was 21. I don't think there's anything wrong. There's people making way worse stuff. Have you seen like the YouTube channels that are like, you know, top 10 like child in court freakouts? Like this 13-year-old just got sentenced to life in prison, and then it's like an AI generated thumbnail with like tears coming down their face. Like that stuff is like the erosion of society to the extreme. I just don't really care for the stuff that like Mr. Beast makes. I don't think it makes him like a villain necessarily.
No, I mean, like, I think I've seen probably 3 or 4 Mr. Beast videos, but whenever I see the thumbnail and the title, I'm like, oh, I want to watch this one day, and then I just never watch it. But he comes up with just crazy concepts, though.
No,
like, that doesn't intrigue you at all. Like, I was buried alive for a week. Like, you're like, bro, you don't want to see him panic?
I don't know. I guess I just don't care. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I'm just like, I'm guilty of participating in it. Don't get me wrong. I just have this opinion that there's like way too many like YouTube videos out there, man.
Yeah, I'm
like
with you.
Not to knock my wife's preferences. You like what you like, and Lord knows she listens to the music in the car that I put on, and she's like, why does this guy listen to music from like 1972? But like sometimes she'll put on like these travel vlogs where it's just like a dude in Japan and he like goes to the convenience store and eats instant ramen, and then like it's just subtitled and they're reviewing it like it's a 5-star restaurant, and it's like the 80th time I've seen someone review like a Yoshinoya beef bowl or something like that as if it's the fat duck, and I'm like, don't we have enough of this, man? Don't we have just... I know the Yoshinoya beef bowl, man. Like I know we got enough Balatro episodes out there. Don't get me wrong. But if someone said, "Hey, NL, aren't there enough Balatro episodes?" I'd be like, "Yeah," but people keep watching them, and I got mortgage payments to make. I'm not gonna be like, you know, elevated about it. Like I'm making art. You like what you like. Like I still listen to like economics podcasts. I don't work in finance. I'm like, oh, the S&P 500's up like, you know, 92 basis points today. Better listen to Animal Spirits, see what's up.
What's Animal Spirits?
It's just a podcast. It's just a reference.
Is it Apollo podcast?
Is it Apollo podcast? What do you mean by that?
Is it about furries?
No, it's about economics.
But why is it called Animal Spirits? Oh, bear versus bull.
You got it. Yeah.
Oh, you know how I remember that? A bear swipes down, a bull swipes up.
I've heard that before.
Do you think you could subdue a baby bear?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I could trick it at least. We're talking like a cub under the age of 3 months.
Yeah.
No shot.
Like
he's toast. I pick him up and just bash his head in on a rock or something.
No, I'm just saying subdue until animal control gets there, not bash it. like I'm saying, like, can you hold one down with your strength?
Like a citizen's arrest?
You are a fine
Yeah.
Well,
Let me tell you this. I don't remember anything 6 months ago, but I do remember one day I had like a doctor's appointment and I had like 45 minutes to kill before I had to get my kids from school.
Yeah.
And I saw a Burger King.
Okay.
And I'm like, you know what? You know what would just make this day amazing?
I guess
going
Daddy's
into
turn.
going into the Burger King, ordered from the counter.
Wow.
They gave me a plastic tray, took it over, sat into like a hard plastic booth that was pristinely just sprayed and wiped down. And I just sat there, looked around at the other senior citizens eating by themselves. I just gave them a nod. And I can tell you intimate details about that lunch that I could never tell you about the last time I ate at lunch in my car.
I can believe, you know, there's something about being in the arena, you know?
Yeah.
I can understand it. I don't mind eating in the restaurant. I'll have a McDonald's breakfast in the restaurant. That doesn't bother me.
The other thing, too, I never noticed so many browns in Burger King in my life. Everything is brown. Everywhere you look, brown wrapping, brown napkins, everything. It's
what
like,
about was the tray like a beige or was the tray red?
Yes.
Because I'm thinking
it's
of
like,
red.
They have a Photoshop color palette. It's like brown, red, and green. That's it. That's it.
It is like, it's got to be the beigest fast food restaurant for sure.
Yeah, and I kind of like, you know, when a company sticks to a color palette that's a little bit avant-garde, I'm all about that.
Yeah, I kind of miss when fast food restaurants used to be ugly instead of like all looking like you know, like a graphic design shop or something like that.
How you doing on Estes?
I got 3 left, but I've been burning them like indiscriminately.
I think we can get them.
It's every day, bro.
Do you think you'll watch that boxing match?
There's a 0% chance. But
you're not gonna watch Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul?
If somebody gets knocked out, I'll watch the clip of the knockout. But no, I'm not gonna watch the fight because it's a scam, right? It's the same thing every time. They fight for, you know, 10 rounds, and then it's like the judges award it as like a draw or whatever.
But the only way you can win is if you knock the other guy out. That's the rules.
Well, if Mike Tyson knocks out Jake Paul or vice versa, I'll be the first one to click on the Dexerto.
All right, don't die.
One step ahead of you.
All right, here we go.
Bro, he's staggered. Not stunned, but staggered.
Get away, get away, get away. Nice. All right, I got no Estes. We got a clutch up here.
He's gonna have a stun soon. I personally guarantee it. Oh!
Nice, finish him. Dopey. Okay, we're good, we're good.
Lay off my friend. She said no pickles.
You got any sauce left?
I got 1 Estes.
Okay.
And a dream. I'm backing up. I'm backing up on this one.
Oh, it's all you, brother. Come on. A perfect bookend.
Hang on here. What is this one? He shoots fireballs? No! Hang on, I need to urgently heal.
Nice.
1 second, I just gotta urgently heal real quick.
She's pulling up in the minivan. Is she gonna screech away or is she gonna open the door and say, hop on in, Ryan? The side door is opening.
I don't want to be here. Bro, you need to fight in like a flatter arena, dude.
The Voyager door slides open. She gives you the glancing look. Time freezes like you're in the Matrix before she utters the words.
Ooh. It's crazy how much muscle memory I still have towards this guy. That's how you know the game's good, man. Keeping it real never goes out of style.
First syllable. She says to you, I'm glad you got the flavored ones. End scene. Oh, nice clutch up.
This guy, he's nothing, bro. He's nothing. I forgot you can just, like, do this and kill every boss. Oh, they've taken away my ability to press buttons for a second.
There you go.
Like, you could just do this and kill every boss.
Jump attack?
Jump heavy, man.
I mean, there's a little bit more to it than that. It's not like
you gotta press circle from time to time. You gotta press circle now and then. Holy cow!
Nice,
30,000 souls.
Nicely done. I feel like that's a good end cap. You clutched up when you had to.
Thank you. It felt good. It felt nice.
You know what else is gonna feel good?
3 hours of ballot show after this.
When you hear the hum. When I'm jealous. I'm so Real quick, Kappa and Chad, if you're a Balatro hater and you're about to leave Ryan's stream, mods, ban him. All right, Ryan, that was a fun one, man.
All right, later, brother, later.
See ya.
I never thought it would come back, but I'm offering a truce. I'm offering a truce to the Pokemon community, okay? We're going to try Pokedoku. Happy birthday, Michael. Happy birthday. You can't be mad at me, though, for expressing my opinions. It's like the same way you don't have a driver's license, Pokemon community, but you're like, oh, I hate cars. Well, I don't have a Pokemon trainer license, but that doesn't stop me from expressing my opinions about Pokemon. But when you hear them and they offend you, you just got to say, it's okay. He's dumb. He's dumb. We got to let dumb people exist. Okay? I know that, and as the chief expert in dumbness, like, I'm just asking you to have mercy. I'm a human being, just like you pretend to be online, you freaking robots. Monotype with no evolutionary line, easy. Done sparse. Okay. Monotype with no evolutionary line. Monsieur Mime. Is there a little baby mime? There's a baby mime now? Mime Jr.? There's 3 mimes? There's got to be, like, there's got to be a lot, man. There's got to be a lot. Let's think. Let's just one sec. Final Evolution Shadow Ball. We play Gengar in those situations. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Can learn Shadow Ball and Thunderbolt. This one's for you, y'all. Never mind, doesn't work. Maybe Luxray, though. No. Mewtwo. Mewtwo can learn anything. Mewtwo! Okay. One guess remains. Can I get a gen check on Hoenn? What gen is Hoenn? That's 3, right? That's 3? Fair Alligator. That's not even the final form, bro. Crocoma? Oh, that is the final form. For Alligator? Well, you know. So that's Gen 2! Sorry. That's Gen 2. That's Johto. Oh, Johto, you glad I didn't say banana. Oh, that was a Swampert play. Okay, I'm not too upset about that. We did okay. We only named Pokemon from Gen 1. That's not rare for me. Framed. A movie that wishes it was 3 billboards outside Ebbing, Missouri. Let's start with it does look like it's from the 70s, but they used to shoot everything on film. Let's try No Country. Benny's World of Liquor. It's got a little, it obviously is maybe set in the 1980s. To me, it's got almost like a little Inherent Vice type vibe to it. That's Harvey Keitel. This could be The Duelists. I'm going to guess that it's probably not. I don't know anything else Harvey Keitel is in, unless this is like Reservoir Dogs. Oh, this must be From Dusk Till Dawn. I don't even want to keep it going, okay? Because I know that number 6 is going to be Salma Hayek with a boa constrictor around their neck. Oh, okay. Sorry. Number 5. We almost had the perfect clip. You know that this account is not run by Synesthetic because it would have been the one where she has her foot in Quentin Tarantino's mouth. He drinks tequila from her foot. I know he's a legend. People keep wanting to cancel Quentin Tarantino because he's got a foot fetish. No, bro, he's an artist. It's just it's a compunction at that point. The movies are good. As long as the movies continue to be great, it's a simple rule, okay? Barring criminal elements, okay? Like if you are engaging in murder, it's a different story. If you make mid-art, you have to be a normal person. Because if you made fucking... what's the most mid movie of all time? If you made You, Me, and Dupree, if you're the director of that, you better be normal as fuck because you don't have anything to fall back on. But if you made Pulp Fiction, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Inglourious Bastards, Jackie Brown, Reservoir Dogs, yeah, you can have a foot fetish and have the most beautiful actress in the world put her foot in your mouth and then pour tequila over it. And you'll probably be like, oh, that take wasn't good. Let's go again. And that was like a 6-hour day or something for you. That's why we're excited for the Film Critic, okay? This is Cara Delevingne and Ryan Seacrest from 20 years ago. I actually just I don't think you're Ryan Seacrest, but you look so much like Ryan Seacrest. But like, I don't think that's... Wow! Did you guys get the intersection of Cara Delevingne and Ryan Seacrest? I don't think so. Slime Rancher. Metacritic score 86. Final Fantasy 12. The Zodiac Age. I'm wrong. I've never played this. Technical smash counter. Skies of Arcadia. Wrong. It's an action role-playing game. Hyperdimension Neptunia. Originally released in 2003. Wild Arms 4. It's kind of shit that had people crying in their bedrooms for sure if they were in high school when they played it. I have no idea what this is. Oh, Tales of Symphonia! Not Skies of Arcadia, you moron. Tales of Symphonia. Kate played this on stream? Yeah, I believe that. It looks like her kind of game. I don't want to lose either of us sponsors, but I was laughing. She showed me a trailer for a game that she played on stream. And I'm like, Square Enix is like a publicly traded, multi-billion-dollar company. When they release Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, I get it. They put the whole marketing machine behind it. They give it the best trailer, the best music, the best ads. But then for all the remade versions of games, it's just like from 1997. They're all they get the Nintendo Direct guy who's with over 300 possible armor configurations, mix and match gauntlets and greaves.
Saga Emerald Beyond. Combat Basics. Glimmers are a unique system that enable characters to spontaneously acquire new abilities in combat, simply by using a skill they already possess.
Explore the worlds of Zisteria and weave a strange tale of magic and armaments. And I'm like, you have a $20 trillion market cap? You're putting out ChatGPT trailers with over 300 possible spells. What are you talking about, man? Put some sauce on it. Entice me. And then they introduce the characters, and the characters are always a rebel from a destroyed village, a pop star whose soul has been trapped in a mech by an ancient witch, a dog that talks and walks on 2 legs with a German accent, a grizzled old military veteran who's 12 feet tall for some reason. I'm like, what are we doing, man? I don't know what any of this means. It doesn't make sense to me. And it's peak. Vampire Survivors. That game, you know, the one where you were like an alien goo that escaped? Could somebody tell me what alien goo game was called? Carrion, thank you. Excuse me? That's a great game. It's not Carrion. Skip me. Dungeon Keeper. That seems like something I saw on the wall at EB Games for a while. You think EB Games still has copies, physical copies of The Sims 3 for sale? EB Games is dead? Nah, bro, it got saved by the Chewy CEO. Did you guys direct list your shares, by the way? I'm not letting the hedgies screw us over, okay? I've direct listed all of my shares. It's just math. He knows? Of course, I lived through it, bro. That shit was like 3 years ago. Of course I know about it. Can't tell if he's making fun of us. Listen. Dude, GameStop stock owners, did they make fun of the AMC stockholders? I know it's like a Venn diagram where there's probably like a significant amount of overlap. But are there like communities where the GameStop guys are like, yo, at least we're not AMC bag holders, bro. Those AMC guys, that company's going out of business. It's been inflated by retail investors, but there's no hope for that business model. Unlike GameStop, where, sorry. I'm just, if you can't laugh at yourself, then what the fuck can you do? I'm bald. I have no hair. Look at the size of my fucking head, bro. Look at the dent on the top of my head. I can make fun of myself. Why do you got such a sense of superiority? Nobody can laugh at you, but you can laugh at everybody else? Get a clue, bozo. A 5-word R-rated movie that everybody loved from 2007. It's a tough one. All right, good game, everybody. That was fun. No Umbrellas of Cherbourg today. We have Umbrellas of Cherbourg at home. Oh, Umbrellas of Cherbourg at home? I can do this. I'm rehearsing it in my brain. I'm visualizing it. Mom, can we watch The Umbrellas of Cherbourg? No, we have The Umbrellas of Cherbourg at home. Umbrellas of Cherbourg at home is no country for old men. Yeah! You see that AI video about knife crimes in England?
What UK area has the most knife crime? Number 5 is West Yorkshire. It has 90 offences per 100,000 people. Number 4 is South Yorkshire. It has 110 stabbings per 100,000 people.
It was like, Middlesbrough has the 3rd most knife crimes in England, with a staggering 143 per 100,000 stabbings. Yeah, you saw it? Okay. And, maybe I was wrong with my anti-AI takes. It can sometimes be art, but it requires the person making it not to know that it's art. It can only happen accidentally as of right now. Today I'd like to go from Eritrea to Turkey without going through Sudan. Maybe it's advantageous to not know where Eritrea is. I guess it's close to Sudan. I would think that maybe you would go Ethiopia first. It's in the general vicinity. You have to go down. Okay, well, from Turkey, we know at some point we have to connect via Egypt. And then we could do Egypt to Syria. Never mind. Syria to Israel to Egypt. Okay, these are all connected. Then, but there's like because we need they gave us 14 capacity. I feel like we have to go like around. Because like south of Egypt is like Ethiopia. I'm assuming this is like Sudan, South Sudan. And then this is like Somalia. It's like, what the heck is down here, bro? Chad? Okay, hang on. Chad and Libya. But like, what are you? Is South Sudan to the east? And this is like, oh, okay. And Uganda. Oh, it begins. Mauritania. The Democratic Republic of the Congo. Oh, because then this is, you know what, maybe the Congo, the Republic of the Congo touches, it doesn't even come close, bro. Countries I never guess in Globla. Central African Republic. Yeah! This is really, it's only the third time I've ever done this. I was in the top 92%. If you look at the reaction in chat, you would be like, this guy must be in like the dumbest 1% of the human population. Wait, that's right. That's the bottom 8%. You're absolutely, I was stupid twice. Oh man, but just for that, you're getting some Puckdoku, bro. Okay. Okay, Dallas, born outside North America. On that one, let me go with a Sergei Zubov. 9%? Oh, brother. Born in North America. Let me get the Eagle, Ed Belfour. It's insane that this guy was not in the Stone Roses. This is not what Ed Belfour looked like in my life as well. This must be like from one of his first few seasons, because like he did have the mullet, but they didn't use this photo background for NHL photos forever, okay? He does look like he's wearing the Star Trek uniform. He looks like Mark Corrigan's co-worker from Peep Show. It's crazy he's not British, man. It's insane that this is not a British face. Am I wrong? Am I engaging in like phrenology or something like that? Like this man is from England. He has like a Tears for Fears phenotype. It's crazy that he's probably from like Manitoba or something like that. Jim Carrey, 1990 to 2010. I'm trying to think if there's like a little cameo I can pull out of this one. Because obviously you got your Masks, your Liar Liars, your Eternal Sunshines, your Cable Guys, your Me, Myself, and Irene's, your Dumb and Dumbers. You know, how about 3 or more word title? Dumb and Dumber 2. I had a feeling that would be pretty low. And then 1990 to 2010. I feel like I Love You, Philip Morris is like a 2011 jam. I'm just not willing to play it and risk the entire grid. I got Ace Ventura, When Nature Calls. Does he have anything that was kind of like arty from this? He's got number 23 was a failed attempt. Truman Show, obviously. I mean, he was too big of a star. Oh, you know what? Man on the Moon might be... People might not search deep for the Milos Forman for that one. I'll settle for 4.2. Oh, Mr. Popper's Penguins would have been a deep pull, man. I think I kind of don't like Jeff Goldblum. Not as a human being. Like I don't really care. Wait, why would you say that? I liked him for a while, but I kind of feel like he's becoming like bacon salt. You know what I mean? Like he's kind of becoming like Reddit core. He's 71. Like, I'm not expecting him to do like a huge personality swerve or something like that. But I'm thinking about the Jeff Goldblum filmography. Listen, he's got The Fly, okay? But then in almost everything else, isn't he just like Jeff Goldblum? He's good in Jurassic Park, but like, I mean, doesn't this make you sad that this guy's been acting for like 50 years and like it's all dinosaur movies? Like, I'm not saying it's bad for him like economically or from a career standpoint, but like, I mean, even Jim Carrey, we got some Eternal Sunshine, we got some Truman Show and shit like that. But really, Jeff Goldblum's 50-year career in Hollywood, Jurassic Park, Jurassic World Dominion, Jurassic Park. He married a girl much younger than him. I mean, like, if he's 70 and his wife's 40, I don't really care, to be honest with you. Could he just be in something, like, that doesn't have dinosaurs in it? He's in Independence Day, that's true. He's in Annie Hall. Well, A Broken Watch, and we write twice a day or whatever. I'm not anti-Goldblum. I'm just like, wow, look at this interview with Jeff Goldblum being like a, kind of like a little off-kilter pervert. And I'm like, I get it. I mean, I have nothing against him as like a human being. I'm just like, I don't know. Like, where's his uncut gems, bro? Where's Jeff Goldblum's uncut gems that, like, I don't know, makes him like more legitimate as an artist in my mind, as if like I know anything. Sorry, just to get to Spellcheck, I failed the CAPTCHA to get into Spellcheck. They gave me 4 CAPTCHAs in a row, and then they said, you're a robot. And then I clicked another button, and it said, okay, you're cool.
Cement, a noun meaning concrete.
He's releasing cement in his jeans. When the Thing from the Fantastic Four orgasms from the twerking competition, he has released cement in his jeans.
Eighth, a noun meaning one that is number 8 in a series. Eighth, a noun meaning one.
That's a tricky one.
Dilly-dally, a verb meaning to waste time by loiter.
I thought that was hyphenated, bro.
Varnish.
This is the hardest easy set of words I've ever seen.
Car.
Okay, well, honestly, I deserve that. I was asking for that. Okay, let's spell this guy. Let's spell this guy with letters. Okay, we're moving on. We got our clip.
Plantain. A noun meaning any of it.
A bananaito.
Scattering. A noun meaning an act.
Dispersal.
Temerity. A noun meaning unreasonable.
Dedication.
Entity. A noun meaning
thing.
being. Squid. A
An
noun
octopi.
meaning any of an order. Toothoidea. Of
We're killing it, bro. We're killing it.
appeasement. A noun meaning the act or action of appeasing.
Neville Chamberlain could never, except that all those times he did. And he suffered mightily for it, people. He did.
Transgressions. A noun meaning an act, process, or in. Rhyton. A noun meaning any of various ornate drinking vessels of ancient times, typically shaped in part like an animal or animal's head. Rhytos means flowing in Greek, derived from rhein, which means to flow. Rhyton. A noun meaning any of various ornate.
I have no idea, man. Writing?
Cartouches. A noun meaning a gun cartridge with a paper case. The word originated from Italian cartoccio and carta, later adopted by Middle French as cartouche. Cartouches.
Cartouches, bro. Cartouches. Fucking arbalists talking about flintlock pistol control in 1701. They keep calling it a magazine. It's a cartouche. How am I supposed to take anything seriously after you make a mistake like that?
What you have there is not clips. These are mags.
Adversity. A noun meaning a state.
Adversity. When they give you writin' as your 13th word. Okay, it's still pretty good though. It's still pretty good. Okay. Let's show that I know popular music, okay? Get from Billie Eilish to Destiny's Child. Let's take a peek at who we got available here. I want to stay in the pop genre. I would say the first thing, I would like to get to Beyonce, and Beyonce is going to take me to Destiny's Child. Take me to Ariana Grande. I'm stunned to not see a Beyonce in here. I'm going to say Nicki Minaj gets us closer to Beyonce. There's Beyonce. There's Destiny's Child. I'm a stud. I'm the best to ever do it. 4 to 8, 52%. I got the shortest path. I ain't ever seen that in any game before. Average score was 9, bro. I've never seen this achievement. Show your path? That's not necessary. I'll keep it in my brain. A viewer who I'm not gonna mention the name of in case I hate this, in which case I don't want it to reflect badly on them, said, "Hey, my friend made a doll that you should check out." I don't want to put them on blast necessarily, okay? This is called Disorderly. And it's another daily puzzle game in the genre of the New York Times puzzlers. The website is playdisorderly.com. Sort these countries by the number of international tourists that visited in 2022, starting with the most visited. This is tough because I feel like the United States is a tourism juggernaut, but much of that tourism is international, but a lot of it is domestic or from Canada as well, or Mexico. So I would think that like maybe Europe has an unfair advantage because even though the whole continent is the size of the United States of America, there's like 70 countries, which makes it a lot easier to farm international tourists. So I'm gonna start my 2 cents. It's US, France, or Italy. I'm gonna start with Italy. I'm gonna submit my Italian. Oh, I've got to order them. Okay. I'm gonna say it goes Italy, France, the US. And honestly, I'm gonna put Greece a little lower. It's a prime destination, but it's a smaller country. I'm gonna leave everything else as is. I'm locking it in. 3 correct, or three incorrect. These are correct. Okay. France down, Spain and Italy swap. That's insanity. France up. Yeah! You got the answer in 3 guesses. France, Spain, US, Italy, Germany, Greece. We'll take those. That's a good game. Average was 4. We got it in 3. Put it on the list. Thank you for the suggestion, Peach Al. Thank you. Okay, and also they have an all games. I mean, this puts it a level above the average dull. You can do past puzzles. This, you know what this is? It's solo quicksort, bro. Sort these college majors by the number of bachelor's degrees awarded in the US in 2020 to 2021, starting with the most common. This is tough. Communication and journalism, I think there's going to be a lot, but less than you think. Because this is what people, and I'm not taking a side, when people make fun of like student athletes for getting a degree, they always say it's like advertising, PR, communications, et cetera, et cetera. So I think this will be up there, but I think it's going to be lower than you might expect. I think computer and information sciences is going to be way up there because people think that it's like a hard thing to do, but actually it's like really easy. Like basically you're just on the shoulders of giants. Like Bjarne Schaarstrup was the last person who actually like innovated in the genre. Now you basically are just like looking at a dictionary and you're like, oh, I just need to write these words. Okay, so that's easy enough. But it makes good money, at least up to this point, so that'll be in there. Health professions. A lot of people are involved in the healthcare industry. A lot of nurses, reasonable amount of doctors, physiotherapists, massage therapists, et cetera, et cetera. I gotta assume that's pretty high. Business. Well, listen, if I was just going from my own school experience, admittedly, it was 2006 to 2010. Number 1 would have been like some version of like science or art. It would have been Bachelor's of Science or Bachelor of Arts in something that's relatively generalizable. Biology, English literature, art history, et cetera, et cetera. Number 2 probably would have been engineering at the time, maybe communications, maybe engineering, then business. Business was like one of the It was like a second tier faculty in terms of like number of undergrads. So I'm just going to follow my heart, okay? And I think over time, well, let's just do the worst bubble sort of all time. Sorry, computer science majors. I think there's going to be more comp sci majors than communication and journalism majors, because when I went to school, newspapers existed. Health professionals or communication and journalism? Health professionals. There's probably like 12 nurses for every copywriter out there. Business will clear as well. Engineering will clear as well. I think that it might clear visual and performing arts, but I'm not 100% confident. But these are both like low represented faculties, I think. Now, computer versus health professions. I'd be inclined to take computer, but I would raise business above. I would keep health professions above engineering. I'm sending it. We have 2 right. I think just hot swap those and we're in. Oh, 4th? There's no shot. 2023, 92% of undergrads are in computer science, information technology. It's that simple. Business, health, engineering, computer science, communication, and visual and performing arts, really close. Now, this obviously isn't Canada. In Canada, it would be mining sciences, then it would be like banking, then it would be oil and gas scientists. This would be influencer school. This would be hoping to get drafted by the Toronto Raptors. I don't even know what would be at the bottom. Like how to cook fresh donuts, something like that. Maple syrup engineer, you get the idea. Real estate agent, yeah, that would. Don't know if they offer that in university, but that would be up there for sure. Sort these long rock songs by their length. Okay, this is the last one, but I love it. Add it to the daily list. Bohemian Rhapsody is not that long. It's long, but it's not that long. It might even be at the bottom. Hey Jude is deceptively long because it ends with like la, 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 la for like 3 or 4 minutes at the end. And I know that because someone always picks it at karaoke. I'm willing to go nuts on the table. These are the bottom 3. Because these get played on the radio. These don't, they always cut them when they play these on the radio. I think Hotel California is... It's tough, because obviously everybody remembers the... And that goes on for a long time. But the na, 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 na at the end of Hey Jude also takes forever. It's a very meandering song. Like, why do you have Bohemian Rhapsody at the bottom? Because I think it's the shortest song. I think it's like 5 minutes and 41 seconds. Everyone remembers, again, the solo. Like Freebird has a long solo, but it also starts meandering. Like they don't get into the fucking nuts of it for like 5 minutes. The first 3 minutes of the song is like... I gotta do this. I gotta send it like that right off the bat. I'm actually the smartest person of all time. Who are you fucking Guided by Voices listeners who thought Bohemian Rhapsody was the longest song ever made? What's wrong with you? It's not even like a long song. It's long by radio standards. It's kind of just like, I mean, it may be a little verbose. You were cooking with Hey Jude? I knew it, bro. I don't know why people think Hey Jude is like 100 seconds long. I mean, some of you guys do not have Marquee Moon and Close to the Edge on your Peloton playlist. That is for damn sure. Some of you guys don't listen to Dog's Got a Bone by the Beta Band. Some of you guys do not listen to Rebubula by Mo off the Zonky album. Oh, you forgot about Bandle? Yes, you're so right. We got to put it in the interstitial spaces. Bandle. Released in 2002, 1.9 billion views. Easy. Hero, Chad Kroeger featuring Josie Scott from the Spider-Man 1 soundtrack. Sounds like an Eminem type beat. Sounds like Without Me. Yeah, yeah, it is. I could just picture it like in the background. Right, probably right here. Check the bass. Ooh. I mean, you would know it on this for sure. Ooh. I kind of like the descent. Like, it makes it sound like a Persona dungeon music or something like that, but when they jump the octave, I don't like it as much. But I like this part. That's about as much as I like. Just kidding, Moby. No one listens to techno. Eminem looking at the popularity of Calvin Harris in 2024. He's okay. That's an awfully hot coffee pot. Should I drop it on the president? Probably not. Harrison Ford. I'm separating the art from the artist for this impression. Don't worry. I'm not doing this bit to honor the artist. I'm doing this bit in spite of the artist. Harrison Ford under the floorboards with the Ford Taurus and the Ford Explorer. You guys gonna play the Dune MMO when it comes out? Will I see you on the sands of Arrakis? Me fulfilling my lifelong dream of being a Mentat on Caledon. Motherfuckers walking up to me in their full-on moisture suits. Hey, what's the capital of Burkina Faso? My eyes roll back in my head. Ouagadougou. Thank you, Mentat. Yeah! Don't you want to be the Mahdi? No, I want to be the Mahdi, bro. No, you got to be the Mahdi last time. I want to be the Mahdi this time. Mom, he always gets to be the voice from the Outer Rim. Nah, bro. I'm going to be that motherfucker from the first movie. Where they're, you know, Leto Atreides the first is like, what's for dinner tonight? And he's like, space macaroni and cheese. Like, that's my dream. Okay, Anti 4. It would be nice to get some economics going, but can I get some, like, a sun card, please? Or a Planet Pack daughter? I'm just trying to tell a joke. Hope you talk to Dr. K one day. So first off, this is not disrespectful towards Dr. K. You're basically saying, NL, I hope you get your untreated mental illness taken care of, okay? He's doing a service. Secondly, you will never see me streaming my therapy session because I'm complaining about you guys most of the time. And the crazy thing is that my therapist is never like, that's not really fair to the people in chat. Every time I tell her stuff like the real concerns of my life and the stresses of being a streamer, she's like, yeah, that sounds fucked up. And I'm like, thank you. Here's $175. Thanks for your help. What am I supposed to do this week? All right, breathe consciously. Thank you. That was money well spent. That's not a knock on Dr. K. I think he's providing a valuable service. You don't get to be part of my therapy sessions, bro. No shot. I would have to go to therapy to talk about the streamed therapy sessions. Table service son or counter service daughter? Table service son any day of the week. Listen, it's not a big deal at the end of the day. Lots of different restaurants on planet Earth. I'm not gonna call it a rule. My inference when I enter a restaurant is that if I sit down and someone brings me a menu, then they should also come back and take my order. I'm not messing about these restaurants where you sit down, somebody gives you a menu, and then you're waiting for the server to come back and take your order, and it turns out you got to go up to the counter with the menu and then give them the order. As far as I'm concerned, that's a half measure, okay? If I'm sitting in the restaurant, it depends on the place. If you're at like a Chipotle or a Super Baba or something like that, you're going to order at the counter. But there's a simple rule, maybe. If I walk in and I can see the food where you pay, that's counter service. If I walk in and the kitchen is obfuscated, it's been abstracted by a wall or like a window or something like that, that's table service. But I hate all the rigmarole. You're not wrong about that. I hate all the rigmarole. Walking in, is this the kind of place where I wait for a bill, or is this the kind of place where you go up to the front to pay? If it's the kind of place where, you know, you go up to the front to pay, are they going to be mad that I'm taking up a table? If it's the kind of place where you wait for them to bring you the bill to pay, are they going to be offended when I go up to the front to pay? Are they going to be like, I'm doing something that's an affront to them? What about a brewery? That's a counter order place for me. Listen, I don't have like a huge... I mean, I like breweries. But I will say, you know what annoys me about breweries sometimes? When they sell food, but it's only snacks. Like, I get that you don't want to be a restaurant. You want to be a brewery. But as soon as you get, like, picnic tables and a food menu, there's times where, like, I would be like, can I get, like, a sandwich and a side or something like that? And then they're like, oh, we only offer, like, soft pretzels and, like, pepperoni sticks or something like that. And, like, you could say, why don't you just go to a restaurant? Yeah, but McDonald's doesn't have Passive Aggressive, the best IPA in Vancouver. So now all of a sudden, my ass is out, at the delineation between East Van and West Van, looking around trying to find am I going to be walking up to Mount Pleasant and going to, like, Slim's Barbecue by myself? That could be, like, a $40 bill. Could you just make me, like, a ham sandwich or something? Fat Tug's not getting its flowers. I have no disrespect for Fat Tug, okay? You got me backwards on the Fat Tug stuff. I love Fat Tug. If anything, Fat Tug is getting it's just dessert. It's getting a lot of flowers, okay? But if I'm at East Van, I'm going to Brass Neck, bro. Superflux literally had to measure their hot dogs because if they were too large, they wouldn't be allowed with their license. Yeah, Vancouver's kind of cooked. Didn't somebody set up like a mini golf course inside of their business and the city like revoked their liquor license or something like that? Because they're like, you're not supposed to have gaming and alcohol in like the same environment unless you're a casino where people can ruin their lives. That's a different kind of license, man. That's a different kind of license. Also I'm sorry we're getting too Vancouver pilled here. I saw Storm Brewing had his liquor license pulled. There's gotta be extenuating circumstances. We need to have like loopholes in the liquor licensing bureau, okay? They've been craft brewery pioneers in the city for like 30 years. Maybe, did they forget to file a couple of forms? Maybe. I don't know exactly what happened. I don't know if they served a 12-year-old like a Black Plague Stout or something like that, but they've been around cut them some slack, man. Cut them a little bit of slack. The dude's a pioneer. You see what happened with the Narrow Lounge? Here we go. We're so Vancouver posting now. I did not. Tell me what happened with the Narrow Lounge. We don't even need to play Balatro anymore. They called it the Wide now. That would be a first for Vancouver. Usually it starts wide and then it gets narrow. Because the real estate's so expensive. They had an inspector come in and shut them down because a staff member said they were closing the kitchen 30 minutes earlier than they were allowed to. They shut them down for a week. That's crazy, dude. You know that, like, I don't know if this is true for every city, but did you? So here's the banter, okay? I'm 3 levels deep. Okay, Wine Mom 9000. Have I been to Port Moody to go to Brewery Row? No, I haven't, but I rep Yellow Dog any day of the week. The hazy IPA is great. Play Dead IPA, fantastic. Going 1 level up. Did you know in New York City, you can just go to a website and plug in someone's license plate and you can see how many unpaid parking tickets and traffic fines they have? That's crazy, dude. We need that here. Do you know how much, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Not even schadenfreude. It would be such a release of negative energy for me to have someone, like, cut me off in traffic and then I repeat their license plate to myself. When I get to my destination, I Google their license plate and see that they owe the city like $11,000. Catharsis. Thank you. That would be incredible for me. It would change my life. Okay, 1 level up from that. Sorry, where were we going with this one? I don't remember now. Oh, did you know in Vancouver, you can see all the restaurants that get shut down for health code violations. Now, I feel like you would look at that because you believe in germ theory, which is not based, a little problematic, honestly. And you would be like, oh, cool, a list of restaurants not to go to. I look at that, and like all these restaurants, I'm like, oh shit, I ate there, it was delicious. I ate there, that was fantastic. Haven't eaten there, that place was great. That rats, really, no hot water? That seems bad. You know what I do? I fucking go back, bro. Because the food's good. If anything, it tells me that all food is dirty in a way, maybe. I don't know. I got lost on the last one, but thank you, Librarian, for the gifted subs. Thank you. Poppy's a little sloppy. I'm all in. That's why you almost died? No, that was likely HelloFresh, but you guys aren't ready for that discourse yet. Hey, Anel, when your parents visit, do they freak out because there's literally no deer? That's such a good... Honestly, vibes are a little off. That's such a good Ontario post. Is this true? In Ontario, you see deers like fucking everywhere, bro. They're everywhere. In Vancouver, you never see a deer. I mean, part of it is obviously because it's the city. Always makes me laugh. Like, I grew up in a fairly rural environment. People always say, I just have to do this because they come with the questions, okay? I'm not trying to defend myself in advance. People say Kingston, Ontario wasn't rural. I didn't grow up in Kingston, Ontario. I grew up in the same way that when you come to Vancouver, if you grew up in Kingston, you have to tell people that you grew up in Toronto because they don't know anything about Ontario outside of Toronto. If you grew up where I grew up, you have to tell people you grew up in Kingston because they don't know what the fuck like Camden East is, right? Regardless, the average drive, cows, horses, deer, you see lots of wildlife, okay? I always laugh. I don't have the heart to tell my wife when we like drive to Washington. Sometimes we'll see like a deer on the side of the road and she's like, you gotta stop so we can take a look at this deer. And I'm like, I mean, if I've seen one, I've seen probably 10,000 at this point. They're all over but it's cute. Or even like sometimes we'll drive. This is how like urbanized Vancouver is, obviously. We'll be like driving to Abbotsford or something like that, and she'll be like, "Look, cows!" I'm like, yeah, that's where the beef comes from, for sure. But it's just because it's not her fault. It's my fault because I'm, like, desensitized to it at this point. But I belong in the city, that's for sure. Lack of whimsy? I've got lots of whimsy. I was thinking yesterday, it was such a beautiful day. That was, like, one of the most beautiful skies I've ever seen in my entire life. But, like, a cow doesn't fill me with whimsy so much. But again, I think it's just desensitization. While scowling? Bro, it's just like how the bones in my face like frame this motherfucker up. That's not whimsy, that's satisfaction. Okay, whimsy is when you see a cute anime girl do a dance and you learn all the moves and then you go into my chat and tell me to fucking kill myself. Is that whimsy? Do you want it to exactly represent you? Because there you go, that's what I'm observing. Everybody's gangsta till Baby Metal comes on. Why are all of your chatters anime viewers in your mind? Because I read the messages they post. I'm not like other streamers in that fashion. That's fair. Even if Origin's saying it's fair, then it's fair, okay? That's not a knock on Origin. I'm just observing the environment surrounding me. I also know that my chat is anime viewers because, like, in the past, I've asked them for, like, anime recommendations. And they, well, sure, for now. They don't have normal recommendations. Like, I feel like if a normal friend of mine was like, what anime should I watch? I would be like, I don't know. Maybe you should watch, like, Neon Genesis Evangelion. Maybe you should watch Attack on Titan or something like that. But in my chat, like, I'll mention basketball, and then people are like, yo, if you like basketball, you should really watch the basketball anime from 2011 to 2012. Oh, you like, oh, really? You like topspin tennis? Have you ever seen the anime Prince of Tennis? And I'm like, no, bro, I haven't even seen Evangelion. I haven't even seen Death Note, okay? I haven't even seen Love Hina. I haven't seen any of the Mount Rushmores. I have seen Spirited Away, and I've seen the Ghost in the Shell movie. Both of those are great. And I saw Parasite. Not the anime, but the film that won Best Picture. The Bong Joon-ho one. I don't know if that's anime, but it might be the third closest thing to anime that I've seen. You've seen Psycho Pass? That's true. I have seen 12 episodes of Psycho Pass. Kate making you watch Gurren Lagann as a beginner viewer was kind of funny. I just like, I say this again, it's going to come across rude. I don't mean it to be rude. But sometimes when people recommend anime, they're making the recommendation, in my personal opinion, they're making the recommendation for themselves. They're saying, you should watch my favorite anime. And for me, that's like somebody who's only like eaten pepperoni pizza their whole life, and you're like, I'm gonna take you out for Indian food, and you get them like goat vindaloo or something like that. Like, you need to ease them in a little bit. Like, I'm coming from like normal cinema and television. I'm coming from Breaking Bad, and then she's like, the first anime you watch should be like, these people live in an underground society where they drive enormous drills, but then at some point they break out, and then there's like Team Rocket is there and they're talking all dramatically and stuff. And I was like, what are we doing here, man? What are we? So the first one that I watch has got to be like, did they make like a Breaking Bad animated version or something? Bob's Burgers? Maybe I've been too harsh on Bob's Burgers, man. Cowboy Bebop. Okay, I'll give you Cowboy Bebop. I did watch a few episodes of that. And you're gonna say like, why'd you stop? It's just, I don't know. I guess like I watched like 3 episodes in one night, and I was like, this show's pretty good. And then I got busy. And then when it came time to choose a show to watch, I was like, I'm not really feeling Cowboy Bebop tonight, and I never returned. You know, it's like one day your parents picked you up for the last time. That was me with Cowboy Bebop. You're 35, bro. You don't need to watch more anime. That's what I'm saying, dude. If anything, like you're old, bro. You should be watching an anime called Your Cholesterol. As I feel like what you would have said. Call me when they make Cheers an anime. So true. Call me when making your way in the world today takes everything you frickin' got, brother. Call me when taking a break from all your worries sure would help a lot, my man. Call me when, like, it would be nice to get away. And sometimes you want to go. Honestly, I know you got 2 rounds left in you. Don't push me, motherfucker. Get out of my face. You fucking suck. I don't even want you. I don't want you. You had your chance. I'm tripping balls right now. Are you angry at me? No. You're chill. I'm mad at the Magic 8 Ball. Thoughts on Seattle? I moved here from Portland. Everything's pretty nice except the traffic and the food. I'm a Seattle enjoyer, for sure. But thank you for saying that the food is worse than Portland. Admittedly, I can't pretend to be a rigorous source for either city. But I've spent a little bit of time in Portland, over a decade in Vancouver, and a reasonable amount of time in Seattle. And I always say, if you're ranking those 3 Cascadian cities, Seattle's below Portland and Vancouver for food. I'm sorry. It's just one man's opinion. I don't decide who gets the Norris Trophy. If I did, it would be Quinn Hughes every year. It's either Portland, Vancouver, Seattle. It's probably Portland, Vancouver, Seattle. I hate to say it as a Vancouverites, it's probably Portland, Vancouver, Seattle. Traffic, I gotta feel like I complain about Vancouver traffic, but I bet of the 3 cities we have the best traffic because Portland is so surrounded by bridges and Seattle's all fucked up. Like, you could get stuck on one of those like 70-degree angles straight up intersections in Seattle for like 45 minutes during rush hour. What about Vancouver, Oregon? Well, like everybody else, I don't know anything about it. No disrespect. Not trying to make anybody upset, not trying to make anybody angry with me. Please, it's your time. We have Hanging Chad, 8 Ball, and Fortune Teller. We should be feasting, bro. There's feast number 1. Mr. Beast, D's Nuts bars. Oh my god, cheeseburger, hamburger, Mr. Beast, Chiblee, D's Nuts, Feastables bars, Mr. Beast burger bars. Sorry. You ever watch Chiblee stream? It's bad for your brain. Lads, exciting news, okay? The new Universal Television produced series will see the documentary crew that immortalized Dunder Mifflin's Scranton branch is in search of a new subject when they discover a dying historic Midwestern newspaper and the publisher trying to revive it with volunteer reporters. A release from Peacock reveals. Look me in the fucking eyes. Look me in the fucking eyes. We're no fucking Office reboots. No fucking Office reboots. You will not catch anybody in this chat even giving episode 1 a chance of the Office reboot. Nobody's using a 30-day free trial to Peacock to watch the first 3 episodes of the Office reboot, okay? It might be good. Obviously, it's not going to be good. If it was good, they wouldn't stream it. They would put it on TV. It's like, you really think the movie's going to be good? You think the movie's going to be good? It's day 1 Paramount Plus release. It's skipping theaters entirely. It stars Joel Edgerton. You think it's going to be good? Come on. Come on. Come on. Fucker. Who still goes to theaters? Me. Movie theaters. Restaurants. Local bakeries. Hardware stores. Stationery stores. I would local department stores. Libraries. So true. Thank you. London drugs. Yeah, now that they're back open. I mean, they do have a lot of stuff in there. They do have a lot of... I don't respect them, but they got a lot of stuff. You seem like a post office kind of guy. I could take it or leave it, honestly. I like the postal service, the system of the postal service. I don't really like to be at the post office, though. Because I am always like, why is this taking so long? And the answer is because everybody has an Etsy shop, which is fine. I support that. But I'm just trying to pick up my wife's package from Ami Ami. And Ami Ami, if anyone from Ami Ami is watching this, I don't know how to run your business, okay? This is just one data point. But can you please stop stuffing the boxes with reams and reams of folded paper? I understand it's probably economical to pack the stuff like that, and it makes it so there's less breakage. But you gotta go with like those airbags or something like that, or even like the styrofoam that creates no gaps. Because like my wife will get like a Sumiko Garashi toy from Ami Ami or something like that, and it's, I don't know, it's probably like 12 inches by 4 inches. Inside of the box is like, I don't even know, like the equivalent of like 500 sheets of paper. And then I got to go like, fold it up and then try to shove it in my recycling envelope. Like, don't get me wrong. I know this came in a box across like the largest ocean on planet Earth. Like, I'm not trying to be an asshole about it, but Starbucks son or Subway daughter? See, now that's a tough question. It's tough because they both suck a lot. I'm not a coffee snob, so I don't really notice that the coffee at Starbucks sucks, but people who are into coffee tell me it's horrible and burnt. But like the Starbucks is annoying because the food is so ass. Like it's so unbelievably bad for how like everywhere the chain is. Like McDonald's is everywhere. The food tastes great. Starbucks is everywhere. The food tastes like sous vide shit. Subway is not good. That's for sure. And it's like way, way, way too expensive. But I mean, like here's the thing. I'm imagining my child. Hey, Dad, you want to go to Starbucks for lunch? No, I do not. What am I going to get? Like the 1,000 calorie Cuban sandwich that tastes like mattress foam? Hey, Dad, you want to go to Subway for lunch? Sure, honey, my treat. Subway daughter. I'm calling it Subway daughter. Okay. I just had to put myself in the situation briefly. Why does your son have a deeper voice than you? Bioaccumulation of heavy metals from sushi consumption. Bro's got so much mercury, his pear gives 110 times 22. Why do they ask you if you want cheese on your melt at Subway? It's a melt. What else would there be on it? For me, I'm going to plus to you first, but then secondly, I'm going to say Subway had been slipping for a long time. But where they lost me for good, apart from just the inflation of their prices for their very mediocre food, was when they started trying to push the sandwiches where you don't choose the toppings. Like that's like going to Chipotle and they're like, we don't sell burritos anymore. Like that's why people go to Subway, dude, is so you can choose what to put on your sandwich. Then you're like, you're going in. You can't get a cold cut combo anymore. It's in like size 1 font off to the side. And you're like, I guess I'll take an RJ Barrett fucking egg white and spinach sandwich on flatbread. And then they don't even ask you what you want on it. They're just putting like quinoa and bean sprouts and alfalfa and then a couple dill pickles. And you're like, what are we doing here, dude? Then they started selling bowls. Like, I want a ham salad. Can I get a salami Caesar salad, please? Like, who came up with that idea? It's like one of the only things that makes the food worth eating is the bread. And then they're like, we're going to take the bread away and just put the cold cuts on top of rice. I get that they got vegetables too, but have you ever looked in like the lettuce bin? Like it's like the lettuce is like the color of a leather shoe. I don't want to eat a salad, man. Kind of blends in with the bread when it's on the sandwich, but I don't want that to be like the base of my lunch. I can't believe they sell a foot-long cookie at Subway. I am a believer, and I don't need the mantle of being a truth sayer. I'm just one person expressing my opinion. They might have tested this with market research, and it's not the right way to do it. I still disagree. They should try it. Instead of trying to go the Panera, Chipotle direction, I feel like Subway should have gone the KFC, Taco Bell direction and doubled. They were like, yeah, you know what? You finally fucking got us. You believed us for 20 years that eating a foot-long sandwich was actually good for you. Well, now that, the shine is off the rose, we're going to make it as unhealthy as possible. Like, instead of trying to pretend that their unhealthy food was healthy, they should have run it back and been like, boom, sun chip sandwich. Cookie sandwich, ice cream sandwich with 2 6-inch long cookies and like some ice cream in between it or something like that. Fried chicken sandwich, like with waffle bread or something like that. They should have doubled down on degeneracy instead of like, you could put the bologna on top of some rice. Sandwich place near me has chips as an option now. Finally, people are finally starting to like wake up and notice. Chips on the menu is a great idea. For like the cost of like 6 to 10 potato chips, you can get an extra layer of like flavored salty crunch. Hang on, I'm going to message my wife. Hello. Is everything okay? Are you ready to go live? Maybe I should check on this. One moment, please. She's okay. She just woke up. It's like it's not the part of my day I look forward to the most. Because you would think like I'm off the clock, but now begins like my 1 hour of trying to convince my daughter to leave my wife's office, even though she wants to spend more time with mommy, but mommy's got to work. And then I'm like, well, as long as you don't bug mommy, it's okay. And she's like, I won't. And then 3 seconds later, I hear like, girl, you gotta leave. Girl, if you wanted, mommy will be done work in like 2.5 hours. And I'm like, oh, she promised. Hey, Tomo. Hang on. He's a Tomo I'm holding nicely. He's so silly, he's scratching my forearm. He's a Tomo I'm petting softly. Northernlion, scream if you love Tomo. Ah! Feeding him Temptations treats. Shaking the cat saliva off of my hand. Praising the Lord, all things are possible through Jesus Christ. It's so true. Oh. Why does so true always make you laugh? Well, because people type it in response to something that's obviously false. Hey, Tomo. Wow. Hello, my son. Okay, you can leave. The dude also, I don't know if you can see this. This dude scratched me yesterday. It's not like I don't need to go to the hospital or anything. But I got like red lines on my forearm. Oh, what'd you do to get scratched? I held him on my lap while my wife brushed his teeth. The whole time she's brushing his teeth because they got like all this plaque on them. He's going. Like, you know, you're like a millisecond away from like a. What is up with the cat actin and myosin, by the way? How can they do like 5 punches in less than an eighth of a second? Like, even Tyson can't have that kind of output, man. Like, when a cat decides to slap you, you get E-Honda'd every single time. Which is crazy because they don't exercise. They sit around and sleep all day. Librarian, don't try to make me care about the hockey rivalry, okay? Twitter is almost sucked me in last night. There was a tweet that was like, I don't know, just somebody in an Oilers jersey was like, Canucks fans are so stupid. It was like, I went to like a Kraken game and the Seattle fans bought me beer. I went to a Vegas game and the Vegas fans took me out dancing that night. I went to a Canucks game and people told me to die. Canucks are the worst fandom in the NHL. And then like all the replies were like, I went to an Oilers game and somebody threw a bomb at me. And they're like, well, you know, there's a lot of bad apples in every fan base, but this is really the only one. Like, I scrolled down like 8 tweets and I started catching myself getting like a little mad. Like, this person is not smart. And then I just said, let's just X out of the tab. No, it's hockey. There's no, just, you got to police yourself a little bit. It's sports, bro. Who cares? It doesn't matter. It's just a bunch of people out there slapping around a rubber disc. I hope the blue team wins, my blue team, but whatever happens, happens. I will say I saw like in that tweet that said Edge Vancouver and you were razzing them for it, Librarian. I had to look at it closely because they gave the goaltending edge to Vancouver. And I'm like, no disrespect to Arturs Shilovs, but the dude has played like 4 NHL games in his entire career. And they're giving the edge to Vancouver over Edmonton. I mean, Skinner has been inconsistent, don't get me wrong, but we don't know what's going on with Shilovs, man. He was a stud against Nashville, but no disrespect to Forsberg. They don't have anybody who can score goals on Nashville. I'm not trying to be rude, okay? But like half of Shilov's NHL career has been against a team that has like 1 shooter. So how do we know how good he is, man? I mean, and Nashville is so bad. No disrespect, Nashville. A little bit of disrespect because your coach gave an interview and said, this is only the second time in my life I've ever felt that the best team didn't win. You lost in 6 games, bro. You didn't even make it to game 7 against our 3rd string goalie. And you got the audacity to be such a bad sport about it. Your team is so bad that Colton Sissons couldn't hit an open net with no goalie. No wonder we got a shutout in game 6. We had a motherfucker between the pipes. Probably could have won in 7. Might have taken us the 1 extra game if we just played with no goalie the whole time. But like, I'm just saying, know your place, okay? I didn't have any beef with the Nashville fans until the coach started firing shots at the team that beat him. It's just classless, okay? It's classless. There's no place in the game for that. I'm sorry. We have people that can score goals. Pedersen forgot. An alien came down from outer space and took his mojo, okay? We're going to figure that out, hopefully. Nashville doesn't have any... They can't score goals. No disrespect, Roman Josi. No disrespect, Philip Forsberg. What is this, man? I'm not clicking on it. I'm doing the I show speed. It will not affect me. I'm holding in my emotions. All right, see you tomorrow.
You know, I have a great story. I had a friend. I liked her because she liked me. But every time I invited her over to my house, she kept stealing my stuff, right? And this was like grade 2. And I first didn't notice that she was stealing my stuff. And stuff, I mean, like she was stealing my charms, like, you know, like stuff that was on my table, stuff like that, you know. So I was like, wait, where is this? And then it was gone. And I'm like, huh, weird. And then soon I realized that she was stealing it because the next day that she stole it from me, she would wear it. Like, she would steal my ring. But I mean, those rings are like the plastic cheap rings and stuff, so it's not like crazy big deal, but she would steal my rings. And then the next day in school, she would wear those rings and be like, look, my mom got this for me. Isn't this cute? And then I was like, wait, what? That's like mine. That's like 100% mine. And I said, oh, I have the same one as well. And then she's like, oh, really? Oh, you must be lucky. And I was like, yeah, but I can't find mine. And she's like, oh, well. And then, you know, like rinse, repeat. And I didn't have enough courage to bring it up and be like, hey, she's stealing mine. Or, you know, like she's a stealer. So one day I asked her to be invited to her house. And then she said, sure. So I got to her house. And when she went to the bathroom, I stole all the shit that she stole from me. I stole it back. I stole it back, dude. And I said, oh, I gotta go home. I have to go eat dinner. And then I just went home. And I never invited her back home ever. I just like, I never hung out with her anymore after I stole it all back. But is it really a crime when she stole mine and the only thing I stole was what used to be mine? I'm just taking it back, man. She stole it from me. Tell that to the judge. What would judge say? Like, actually, would they say I'm guilty and my friend is guilty, even though the only thing I took was mine? How can I steal something that is mine though? You would have to prove that she stole them. Well, if she didn't steal them, then I wouldn't be stealing anything. So no one's guilty. Someone doing a crime to you doesn't mean you can do a crime back to them. No, when you make it sound like crime, that is so much worse. But then, hey, I just only took the thing that she took it from me. I don't call that a crime. I could have, you see, there's two different sides of the story. If I said she's a thief, she's a bad person, and if I stole one of her thing to teach her a lesson, that would be a crime. But I said, hey, I'm taking all these bracelet that you took it away from me because it's mine. Then it's not a crime because she stole it from me. I would have never initiated it. Straight to jail. No. For me, I don't think I had any bad ex stories. I think Ryan's ex story, I never heard it in that much of a detail. It was my first time hearing it on his stream when Dan asked. I was like, man, that's crazy. How he had a crush on this girl for his whole high school. And then he gets to date the girl. But then instead of like, oh my gosh, I like this girl, he went like, man, I want to go and play Smash with my bros. So he just like didn't care about breaking up. I thought that was kind of on character, I guess. Had a crush on that girl for like 4 years, doesn't matter, gotta go play Smash with my bros. I know I asked, not about that girl, but I asked like, who was the last one that you dated? And then he said after he came back from Korea, you know, he was lonely and he didn't know where to find a girl, so he asked a cashier out, and I think she said no. And he said that was it. And I was like, oh, I can like already picture it. Like he would have probably like started with some some joke to enlighten the mood, and then he goes like, "Hey, you wanna like hang out?" And she goes like, "No." And he goes like, "All right then, bye." And then he said he never went back to the supermarket, which is, oh man, bro rolling a 0. But I thought that was hilarious though. Because I can picture how he would go about it, you know, like, hey, I've been seeing you working tight shifts. Must be tense, huh? And then she goes like, yeah. And he goes like, oh, well, you know, like there's like a new bar open. Have you been there? And probably she goes like, no. I was like, oh, you wanna go out after you're all done work with me and, you know, try some new drinks? And she probably says no. And he goes, all right, bye. Oh, I know I witnessed when MALF was single. I feel like as though for MALF, he just throws shots, you know what I mean? Like he knows that they will say no, but that does not stop him from asking people out. So like we were in Kingston, all three of us. It was winter time. It was very cold, and we had a few drinks, and then like I wanted to go back home, right? Because it was cold. Like it's so cold in Kingston during winter time. So I wanted to go back, but then Mouth was like, "Nah, dude, we have to go McDonald's." And I said, "Why? I don't want McDonald's." And he said, "No, we have to get McDonald's." And I was pretty not happy about it, but I said, okay. So we walked to the McDonald's, and then there was a, like, I don't know, girl behind the counter. I ordered what I probably didn't order anything. Maybe Ryan. I don't think Ryan ordered anything either. But then like Mouth was, he got the Riz. He was like, oh, you know, it was so funny though. He said, "Oh, it's my first time here. Is there any menu item that you would like to recommend?" And then she said, "I like apple pie." And then, but then like the way she responded was like, you know, the like rolling her eyes. She hates herself. She hates this job, and she's like, I guess I like apple pie kind of thing, you know? And like just from miles I can see like this is not gonna go well. And he goes like, "Oh, apple pie. Wow, this restaurant is amazing. You guys sell apple pie?" And like he was trying to talk up how amazing apple pies are. And she's like, so are you gonna order it? And then he's like, "Yeah, I would love to order this apple pie. It's your favorite, right?" And she's like, yeah. And then he goes, "Oh, so like when do you finish work today?" And I think she said never. And then he got the apple pie, and then we walked out. Oh, oh man. This is so good. And then I think so like we went out with the apple pie in his hand, right? And then it was so cold in Kingston, and like the road was all frozen. So even before he was able to take a bite of apple pie, he slipped and fell in front of the McDonald's, and the apple pie flew and landed on the ground. And then I said, "Oh no, your apple pie!" And then he's like, "It's okay, I don't want to eat it. I just went there because she was cute." And I was angry because I was like, did I really have to follow you to this? Oh, I don't know if any of them remember because, you know, they were pretty drunk. But I was like, I was Right now it's funny. Back then it was not funny. I was pissed because it's so cold. It was so cold. I just wanted to go back home. But I guess he needed his wingman. Except we were not. We were tired and we wanted to go back home. But I guess he needed like Ryan and me to be his wingman and be like, yeah, this guy's a good guy or something. Insane Gambit. I guess if she found it funny and be like, haha, this guy's funny, there's no way he never came to McDonald's, then I guess I guess I can kind of see the game plan. Except I also saw her facial expression, which was saying -2. I'm gonna use that line next time I go. No! Why would you use that line when I just told you it did not work? He was so close to closing the deal. In what part of this story was he close? He didn't even get to eat the apple pie. And she says she works there forever. She never finished work. How is that close? This is so crazy. It didn't work this time? Are you saying, oh my gosh, just why don't you take a samples of things that worked and not samples of things that did not work? Try the things that worked and don't try the things that did not work. We're conducting science. Well, talking about MALF, there's another great story. We went to one of like very early on, like this was 12 years ago. I was 20 years old. We went to one of like the media party. And back then, 12 years ago, they didn't give you like a coupon for a free drink. They gave you a card with number 1 to 20 written on this like a stamp card thing. So they were basically saying you can have up to 20 free alcoholic beverage for free. So you can understand how young Ryan and young MALF went crazy for it. And it wasn't like, it doesn't have, you know, like the person's name or anything, so anyone can give the drink card to anybody once they're done. And I brought my 3DS. After a few drinks, I was like, I'm just gonna sit here and play 3DS. And then, like, me and Ryan were watching MALF. We were pretty, like, we didn't do anything, but MALF, oh boy, it is the era of, it was pre-era of Riz, but it looked like he was Gatsby. You know the Gatsby, like the meme, like drinks the glass, and then there's like fireworks happening behind him. He looked like Gatsby, right? 2 ladies, one on each side, walking around. He would never walk without those 2 ladies not next to him. And I was like, holy. So I said, Ryan, come here. Your boy scored real big. He got 2 girls, 1 girl's each side. And then I found MALF and I was like, oh, you know, good score tonight, huh? And then MALF said, nah. And I said, what's wrong? And then he said, they both have boyfriends. And I was like, what? And then he said like, oh, they just, you know, they just want to they were just having a conversation with me. And I'm like, yeah, but they have boyfriends. They both have boyfriends. And then MALF is like, yeah, but you know, it's okay. I had a good time. And I'm like, what? And then one of the boyfriend like came up to MALF. And then, like, he was so huge, right? He was so huge. And MALF is not a big guy. And he said, can I help you? And then he's like, no. And And then she was like, oh, this was my drink buddy. Just leave him alone. It's okay. We can go. Bye. And then I was like, oh my gosh. And the other girl was like, oh, I gotta go too. Bye. And MALF was just alone. Left alone, man. And he was trashed. My gosh, I have never seen him so trashed. That was like the most trashed MALF I've ever seen. Oh. So like for the 2 times he scores 0. Chet takes these inspirational stories. In which part was inspirational? But now MALF is married with 3 kids, right? Oh, who's gonna tell him?
Like Prozac, the Canadian cartoon band, said, I'm gonna sleep with myself tonight. No one else can harm me. You guys ever listen to Prozac when they went through their weird abstinence era? Although I'm really quite fond of you, my best intentions never turn out right. I'm gonna sleep with your dad tonight. Sorry.